It's okay for a man to go into the women's section, show his penis around the other women, young little girls underage. Your spa, we spa, condone that. Is that what you're saying? Like I asked. It's so he can stay there. He's a man. He is a man. He is not a female. Okay? Girls down there, other women who are highly offended for what they just saw. And you did nothing. Absolutely nothing. In fact, you sided with him. So We Spa is in agreement with men that just say they are a woman and they can go down there with their penis. Is that what you're saying? What really? What law? What law? So women can go into the men's with their breasts. Okay.
And then this should happen, we're not going to come back.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't come back either. Yeah, get your money back. Yeah, give her money back.
Are you talking about a transgender person?
There's no such thing as transgender. He has a dick. Okay? He has a penis. His penis is hanging out. Okay, no, I'm not one. Actually, I'm a woman who knows how to stand up and speak up for my right. As a woman, I have a right to feel comfortable without a man exposing himself, okay?
That was an irate woman who took video inside We Spa. We Spa is a Korean spa in Los Angeles. And she was angry because a man exposed himself to a group of other women in the women's section of the spa. The women's section should be for women. But a man walked in there and exposed himself. Why? Because he's allegedly transgendered, and she wasn't having it. Welcome back to Bible Bears, everyone. I'm Ryder Cullison. So, you just saw that video. I'm about to show you another video of another woman who's upset about an incident that occurred when she went to the spa with her young 6-year-old daughter. She put out a video. This is at the same spa. But before we get into this story, don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you will be alerted when I post new videos. And, as always, we need to get warmed up with the bad dad joke of the day. Why don't people trust stairs? Because they're always up to something. Alright guys, so we're going to get into this story. I'm going to flash up the verse of the day, and then we are going to talk about the prayer of the day. So you saw that initial video at the beginning. A woman, she was pretty fed up. She went to the front desk to complain. Why is there a man in the women's section exposing himself? And basically they told her at the desk, that man is transgendered. We don't have the right as a business to discriminate against anybody. And she's like, what are you talking about? The man has male genitalia. He's a man. Obviously, there's a portion of the population who just doesn't see it that way anymore. Another man came up to her and tried to explain to her that, hey, that guy's transgendered. And the woman's like, you're basically crazy. And you know what? The man really had no argument because, yes, he is crazy for suggesting that. So, another mother has recently posted a video in protest. Now, this woman says, hey, I'm a registered Democrat. I've gone to pride parades. I'm not transphobic. But I was in a hot tub at this spa with my 6-year-old daughter. We're sitting in the hot tub. There's some other women in there. And in comes a man. And what she says, she suggests, were probably two lesbians just based on their appearance. Perhaps that's not the right thing to say, but I'm going to let you watch the video.
We're having a great time. We're in there with other women when a person, I guess, with a penis and a beard came over with two girlfriends. They appeared to me to be lesbians with tattoos and colored hair, and they appeared, the three of them, to be kind of progressive activist types. They came in with kind of an entitled attitude, and they sat down on the edge of the hot tub where I was with my daughter, my 6-year-old daughter, who was naked. And the person with the penis sat down on the edge of the hot tub with just fully on display, with his genitals fully on display. And so me and the other women in the hot tub kind of looked each other in the eye, and we just kind of made this face like, what the heck? And, we're motioning to my daughter. I'm motioning to my daughter, and the women in the hot tub are like, I know, what the hell? And, we were just uncomfortable, and I was trying to block my daughter from seeing the penis on the person with the 5 o'clock shadow, who was not trying to look like a woman at all. And we got out of the hot tub, and I walked away, and I thought I spoke to like a different woman, and this other woman said, they spoke to this person about covering up, but they refused, and I felt kind of horrified. I could see like the older Korean ladies peeking out from behind the kind of panels of the showers, trying to cover themselves up with a towel.
Okay, so there you have it. And she's upset. She doesn't come across as irate as the person in the first video, but I definitely would be. I think she's had some time to calm down. A man comes in, sits on the edge of the hot tub, and exposes himself to her 6-year-old daughter. Why? Well, he's allegedly allowed to do this because he's transgendered. She is suggesting that he isn't transgendered, that he's just abusing the system. And the desk basically did nothing. They apologized to her. They gave her a couple free passes. Great, so she can come back and perhaps have her daughter exposed to a man again. No, don't bring your daughter back to that establishment. Don't go back to that establishment. I don't believe in boycotts, but you shouldn't go to a place that is clearly disregarding your rights and potentially damaging your child. Now, people protested her protest. She was angry. She should be angry. And people actually marched. Look at these people. All right, they think they're heroes. You're not heroes. This man who exposed himself to a 6-year-old girl is not oppressed. God is not looking at this person and saying, oh my gosh, I'm hearing the cries of the transgender people who are not allowed to use the women's hot tub. I'm going to send locusts and frogs and fire from heaven. No, he's not. He's not going to turn the hot tub water into blood to free transgender people from oppression. This is not oppression. This alleged transgender person should have the reasonable expectation to know that you don't get into a hot tub with a 6-year-old girl and expose your male genitalia to them. Now, of course, there's a huge possibility this man isn't even transgendered. He's just a man, and he's going in there and doing this because he gets off on it. And transgender people need to start speaking out. They need to say, look, my rights don't trump the rights of children who could be emotionally impacted by this. Look, they need to understand that men, straight men, are going to take advantage of transgendered women and men's rights. They're going to pretend to be something they're not just so they can go into establishments like this and fulfill their pedophilic needs. Transgender community needs to realize that what they stand for is going to be and is being corrupted very quickly. We see this in prisons where there's a number of men suggesting that they are transgendered and they're being transferred to women's prisons and where they are assaulting women. All these men transgendered? No, they're not. They're taking advantage of the system, just like this man in this spa did. He took advantage of the system and exposed himself, probably traumatized a 6-year-old girl. And I want to know where the LGBT community is, unless you're suggesting that you're actually LGBT and P for pedophiles. Is that what you want lumped in with you? Because you're going to face far, far more discrimination if you start defending their rights as well. These people protesting, you're not heroes. And what I feel like is we're descending into a Canaanite type culture where idolatry and incest and child molestation and all this stuff now becomes more appropriate. The the devil's very clever here. He's mixed up the genders so that crazy people are just buying into this falsehood that you can just suddenly decide to be anything you want. And now the devil has opened a door, and we're not even on a slippery slope to pedophilia anymore. It's right there. When a man is allowed to sit in a hot tub naked with a 6-year-old girl who was not wearing any clothes either, and I have some issues maybe with that with mom, but at least the mom had the expectation that there would only be women in there, not men. This is absolutely ridiculous. Now, using that analogy of mixing up the genders, imagine if a football player suddenly decided he identified as an NBA player. So he went on the court, and rather than dribbling down the court, he just took the ball and ran, blitzed down the court, smashing in through all the players and laid up the ball. And everybody said in the NBA, well, he's trans basketball. We're not allowed to say anything. Would that be fair to the other NBA players? No, of course not. It's not fair when men go into women's prisons. It's not fair when biological men go into women's sports. It's not fair for a man to go into the women's section where the women aren't dressed and expose himself. You're stomping all over women's rights. You're stomping on children's rights. Men, and maybe even women in some instances, but predominantly men, are going to abuse this. And you've just totally, people who are defending this have totally lost their minds. But what say you? Put that in your comments below. Now for the prayer of the day. I'm praying for a young Pakistani girl. She's 13 years old. She was a Christian girl. She was forced into a marriage with a Muslim man who then forced her to convert to Islam. Her father tried to get her back. Actually, she ran away from the man, and the Pakistani High Court has now forced her back into the marriage with this man. This man also has other wives. Allegedly, supposedly, the husband, said that the girl was actually 19, not 13, and that she willingly converted to Islam. There is evidence that there is clear coercion here. The father actually produced a birth certificate showing that the girl was 13, but the High Court said that the girl testified in court that she was 19 and that she was willingly converting to Islam. So the High Court honored that, even though she was a Christian and she's only 13. The court's forcing her into the relationship with this man because, according to the father, the girl fears for her safety and she has been coerced to do this. The man brought in all sorts of friends to testify on his behalf. This is actually illegal in the country to marry someone below the age of 16, but if she goes willingly, it's okay. So we know what's really going on here, and we need to pray for this young girl. I don't care. I mean, definitely pray for her because she's Christian, but even if she was Muslim or Hindu or Buddhist or whatever, a man should not be marrying a 13-year-old girl. So we need to pray for her and for that culture. Guys, I'd love to hear your comments below on the transgendered issue. Do you feel like a hero when you march or you support the rights of transgender people, even if they are overstepping their bounds? I don't think you should. I think you just have nothing better to do. A real hero goes into other communities, feeds the homeless, goes into other lands, takes care of sick children, dives on a grenade, saves someone who's drowning, adopts a child from an impoverished neighborhood. Those are heroes. Marching and holding up a sign and defending the rights of someone who's clearly trying to take advantage of the system, you're not a hero. Guys, I'd love to hear your comments below. As always, if you like this video, click share, like, and subscribe. And have a blessed day. I love you.